Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I've got this ink for you. This is from the 2022 Inkvent from Diamine. This one's called Best Wishes, and it was their ultimate ink, the Day 25 bottle. It is, it's been waiting a little while. I've had it in a pen forever, and I just kept forgetting to review it, so that's what we're doing today. Best Wishes is, as you can see here, a green, and as you might know from the Inkvent series, the last day tends to have everything in it. So this is shimmer, it's got sheen, it's got color, it's got all the things. Now I don't think you can actually buy it in this smaller size, but you can get it in the size like this, which is a 50 ml bottle. These are the 30 ml bottles that come with the Inkvent the last day. But now it's going to be available in a bottle like this. They have these little cute feet on them, just cute as the dickens. I really like these little glass bottles they do for these Inkvent inks later on in the year. So let's take a look at this on some paper. All right, there you go. Here it is on my Nebula Casual Note paper. I'm going to say this is medium, maybe a little bit on the dry side. It's a little hard to tell. I'm not sure exactly which way to go with this ink, because on the one hand, I think it's my least favorite of these Day 25 inks from Diamine. But on the other hand, I mean, I've had this inked up forever in like a pen that I really like, so maybe I like it. I don't know. But that's like kind of one of the reasons I haven't reviewed it yet, is because I was trying to decide if I actually like this ink or not. So let's take a look. It is a dark green, as you can see, like here and almost nowhere else, because the sheen and the shimmer in a lot of cases completely obliterate that green. Like the green is just gonzo. It's not even there. So I don't know. I mean, it might as well be a sheen ink. I think if they had toned down the sheen, I would have liked it more. I do like to be able to see that base color through the sheen. So we got a super sheener here. Let's see if it does any smearing after the fact. No, none of it came off my hand. In fact, actually, I didn't even get any shimmer on my hand. That's pretty good. The shimmer and the sheen both stuck to the page, so I like that a lot. That's a good feature. This one says, very good on the 20-pound paper. We'll see this very soon. Here, qualities, sheen and shimmer. It might be a chameleon ink. This is the year they introduced the chameleon inks, and so it might be chameleon, but they don't actually tell you on these last days, so it's hard to say. The pen I've had it in is this Franklin-Christoph Model 40, which I think of as my Captain Marvel pen, but it's also like Wonder Woman colors, but I don't know. I just really like this pen a lot. It's got a standard broad nib in there. Actually, this is an Anderson Pens broad nib. How about that? I've had that for a long time, but it's like wanted a broad nib. I guess that's the one I had available, but I just gotta keep refilling this pen with it. I guess I like it. It has dried up on me a couple of times, and I think it's just because the ink is kind of on the dry side, and with the sheen content and all that jazz, sometimes I have to take my little water bottle and just like put a drop or so around the breather hole, and it'll get sucked into the feed and it'll rehydrate the ink, and then it'll write with no problem. But I did have a little bit of that, and these Panther 40s usually don't let your ink dry out. So it's not this one using a pen that you're going to use fairly often, but it's a wild ink, so I imagine you're going to put it in a pen that you know well. You can see here lots and lots of green shimmer right there, red sheen, all that jazz. Let's go ahead and brush off that Katy Perry hair there. So yeah, interesting ink. Let's go ahead and I'll put the chromatography over here. It's actually way too long for this page, so it's one of the ones I couldn't glue in. But let's see what happens here. I'm not expecting. Oh, weird. It's like blue. Interesting, because this is for sure a green ink. But I guess, as you can see on this page, there's a lot of blue in this green ink, and that's probably where it's getting that massive sheen from. It's from the blue content. A lot of times the blue dyes are the ones that will be giving you this kind of massive red sheen like we're seeing here. All right, let's mop this up. There might be some left. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just gonna do a little bit of this. There you go. All right. I don't think I said the price before. So these little bottles are usually $22 for these inks after the fact. This should be available now. It's definitely late enough that you can get it now. Yeah, not. I'm not going to say it's water resistant or waterproof or anything like that, but you do have some of those faint blue lines there, so you could recover your work if you happen to spill your water on it, as long as you mop it up. Because man, look at all that blue and green that came off on my my paper towel bit there. So yeah, interesting thing there. And this is really just blue and green. That's all we got going on in here. Interesting that it comes out green like this. But like I said, I think the blue is probably giving you that shimmer, that sheen content. All right, so on our 20-pound, 30% recycled Staples copy paper, it actually did super well, even with this pretty wet Yovo broad nib. It does look a little bit greener on here. You don't get as much sheen when you use these papers. There still is some sheen, definitely in that D right there, and lots of shimmer, but no actual like feathers or spread, which is impressive. And then this is the back of the page there, so very, very little bleed. You can see pretty much everything bleeds on this paper. There are a few things that don't come through very much, but this is definitely on the low end, especially for a broad nib. So that's pretty impressive. Good job on that one for sure. So one thing that this is really good for is if you're going to be writing like Christmas cards or any kind of holiday card, honestly, or you just want something that's going to have some extra bling, you can't guarantee what kind of greeting cards and seasonal cards and that sort of thing you'll have for quality. Like a lot of times fountain pen inks is not the thing you can use because they just will bleed and feather and spread and look gross. But this one I think is pretty good. In fact, I used it for some of my holiday cards, so it worked well. Just don't use it for the address unless you're going to wax over it or something. All right, next up, this is Mormon Mnemosyne paper. I really like Mormon papers. I use Croaky a lot for these. This time I decided to use my Mnemosyne pad, which is blank, and yeah, it's pretty good on here, I think. I don't know why I wrote Ackerman Dutch Masters. Like, that was a weird thing to write. It's not even close. This is Diamine Best Wishes. I don't know what I was doing that day. This is my Panther 40, of course, broad Yovo, and this is some stuff from the 99% Invisible City from quite a while ago, page 59. I'm like in the 70s nowadays. This is about historical plaques and that sort of thing. And hit pause if you want to read this little paragraph here about plaques. Of course, nothing comes through on the back. Mormon does not allow that kind of shenanigans, so yeah, totally fine. Also, really a barely bled on copy paper, so you know it's going to be good on this stuff. You can definitely see a lot of sheen here. You can also see some green, which is good. Like the top of letters, that's pretty good, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, cool. Actually, I think this is the best it's looked, if I'm honest. All right, it's my Inky Fingers Currently Inked book. This one is right here, where it just looks super dark. You actually do get a little bit of green here because you don't get as much sheen on this paper. It looks okay. I actually didn't date it. I don't know why. It's weird. I mean, it was definitely in that December, I guess, but weirdly, I just didn't put a date down there. I don't know why. Who knows? Lastly, for paper samples, this is my Galen Everyday book. This is Old School Tomoe River. Where are you? There it is, right there in the middle. A little bit of green, but mostly red and mostly shimmer there. Yeah, it looks okay. It's definitely got a lot of bling to it. Don't count on it being green, though. Okay, so for comparable colors, I've pulled a whole bunch of these here. So there's Best Wishes on a Colodex card. You can get these from many places, including my friend Anna's store directly over at Well Appointed Desk. There'll be a link in the description for that. I pulled Diamine Winter Miracle, Happy Holidays, and Raise a Glass, not because they are... well, actually, this one I thought was a final day of that Inkvent, but it actually wasn't. I don't know what the final day of that one. Oh, it was this one. Happy Holidays. But all of these are some of the ending days for those calendars. So as you can see, the last day of the calendar always has something crazy on it. I think Happy Holidays is one of the best. There's also one called All the Best, which I didn't pull for some reason. I think that's one of them. But this is a really good one back from 2019. This one for this year is pretty good. Although it's definitely got that chameleon shimmer and that sort of thing, but these are all like two purples and a blue, so they're not like this one. They're just final days for funsies. Next up, this one is a green. I went into my shimmer and my super sheener piles to find things for this. This is Diamine Black Ivy from another one from that 2022 Inkvent. Oh no, it's day 22 of 2021. There's too many 20s on here. Tons of sheen, kind of a similar green color, I think, but underneath the sheen, it's hard to say because, again, super sheener. But that's another one if you want to get some green with super sheen. This is Diamine November Rain. A lot of these are, let's see, are there more Diamines? That one. Oh, hey, I actually pulled this one twice. Look at me. I don't even know why I have to, but like whatever. So Diamine November Rain, you can get a little bit more of the green on this one perhaps, but lots and lots of sheen there. And I think the green is slightly different. It's kind of a brighter, almost like a Kelly green, I think. for November Rain. Then we have Diamine Holly. Oh, a lot of these are Diamines. They do a lot of the greens and the blue sheeners, and so that's pretty cool. So this is another 2019 Inkvent ink there. And then lastly, not a Diamine. This is KWZ Discovery Green, which is a Drum Ghouls exclusive that they sent out for a while ago, and I must have reviewed this one ages ago, but lots of green here. But also, when you write with this one, you get mostly sheen. Like Discovery Green is mostly Discovery Sheen is what you get for that one. And it looks like I got a little bit of smear there. Let's see if it still smears. No, I don't think so. So that's good. But yeah, you get a lot of sheen there. So a lot of sheen monsters and that sort of thing. This is a different green, but it kind of doesn't matter because all you're really going to get is sheen and shimmer out of that. So pick your favorite like sheen and shimmer combo. You can get it from that last day for sure. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching. Wishing you best wishes. Go ahead and find this wherever you find Diamine inks, including Anderson Pens, where I got that year's Inkvent calendar. Tell them I said hi. And, until next time, peace out.